We're getting ready to open some boxes, but before we do that, we're going to tell you about this web series that the three of us have been working on. Clive and Kevin came up with the idea. I act in it. It's called We've Got Issues. It is set in a comic book store. I play a guy named Declan who's a bit of a jerk. James is played by Kevin. He's a really nice guy. Yeah. And Clive plays the boss, who is Mr. Tanaka. He's really mean, and he might not be Japanese, but he might think he is. Anyhow, it's a pretty ridiculous web series. We hope you like it, and if you enjoyed the pilot, tell your friends, and hopefully we'll get to do more. We're going to open some boxes, but let's take a look at the trailer first.
What is the meaning of this? Explain!
You see, sir, the asshole is an orifice in the body used to expel waste from the system after digestion. Actually carries out a fairly necessary and important function.
It's just an isolated incident, one that won't be repeated.
And are we still going with this whole Mr. Tanaka thing? You're not even Japanese.
Silence!
That wasn't Japanese. That wasn't even a word.
Dude.
If you like what you saw there, go to youtube.com/We'veGotIssuesTV. The pilot episode drops Thursday, February 27th, which is tomorrow. Unless you're watching it tomorrow, then it was today.
Unless you're watching it Friday, then it was already
yesterday and Paradox.
For us, it's Tuesday, so it's actually 2 days.
Anyways, let's get back to it. Sean, go ahead.
Let's open some boxes.
Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 174 of Unboxing Wednesdays for comics arriving in stores on Wednesday, February 26, 2014. That's 2 weeks in a row, Ricky.
There you go.
2 weeks in a row.
I think you're good.
Nailing it. Nailing it. I want to thank our good friends Sean Hatton and Clive Felice for coming by.
That's what that smell was?
Ouch! Dude. That's wrong.
I hate you! What was that?
And thanks for checking out the trailer to that upcoming web series. Ricky, I think we've held everyone's suspense long enough. Let's open up some boxes. Alright, we've got a ton of pop vinyls to show you today. Let's start off with Game of Thrones. Here's Ghost and Tywin Lannister.
Here's Ygritte and Drogon. I like Drogon, looks pretty cool.
Here's the slimy in episode 2.
Oh god! We've got Brienne of Tarth, who is very badass, and then Hodor, who's a fan favorite. I actually interviewed this guy a few weeks ago. He said more than Hodor, which is weird.
Tyrion Lannister in battle armor and Joffrey Baratheon.
Moving on to different fandoms here, we've got Hobbit figures from Pop Vinyl. This is a invisible Bilbo Baggins. Got Thorin Oakenshield, he's awesome. Gandalf, Azog.
From Sons of Anarchy, we've got Clay Morrow and Opie. We also have Gemma Teller and super sexy Jax Teller.
Got some My Little Pony Pop Vinyls here. Right there. That's a dude.
DJ Pawn 3.
There's another dude. I Heart.
That's Derpy.
I Heart Derpy. And Dr. Hooves.
From The Walking Dead, we have Injured Daryl. And we have the Woodbury Walker. We also have Penny and Maggie.
Alright, Lost in Space. We've got this guy, Robot B9. And then one of my favorite robots of all time, the Iron Giant. From Batman Arkham Origins, we've got Firefly. I love how great these figures look. And then Deathstroke, who also looks absolutely amazing. I might have to add these guys to my collection. Also from Batman Arkham Origins, Anarchy. And then this guy who is really heavy. This is Killer Croc. And he could beat up just about anyone else in the Arkham Origins line. That's what I say anyway.
Killer Croc of shit.
Why you gotta ruin everything? And if you didn't have enough Deathstroke in the Arkham Origins line, here he is in the DC Comics Deathstroke. This is the DC Comics Supervillains version of the same character. And this one's a little different. Switching universes over to Marvel, we've got Hawkeye, who looks nothing like he does in the movie. He doesn't look like this. What is he, a comic book version?
Okay, moving on to the collected editions. We have Superior Spider-Man Team Up, Volume 1. Invincible, Volume 19. Peter Panzerfaust, Volume 3. Archer and Armstrong, Volume 4. Thief of Thieves, Volume 3. Angel and Faith, Volume 5. The Superior Foes of Spider-Man, Volume 1. Samurai Jack, Director's Cut. This was originally printed as the Samurai Jack Special back in 2002. And a new printing of Ed Brubaker's Captain America run, Winter Soldier. This reprints issues 1 through 9 of that series. Handy reading if you're going to be watching the Captain America movie shortly. And this has 2 covers. This is the first one and the second. Alright, we got a lot of the non-Marvel and DC books today, so let's get started with those. We've got Hardcore, issue 0 from Valiant. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Animated, issue number 8. Dead Boy Detectives number 3. Black Science, issue number 4. A new one from Dark Horse, it's Aaron Warner's Pariah. Halo Escalation, issue 3. The final issue of the 100 Bullets spin-off series, Brother Lono. Issue number 6 of The Wake. Robotech Voltron, issue number 2. Ghostbusters Mass Hysteria Part 1. This is issue number 13. Rest in peace, Egon Spengler. Furious, issue number 2. Star Trek Con, issue 5 has these 2 covers. Here's Chew, issue number 40. Regular Show, number 10. Mass Effect Foundation, number 8. Umbral, issue number 4. Transformers Regeneration 1 has these 2 main covers. And this variant cover. The X-Files conspiracy spreads to the Transformers universe this week. Here is the variant cover for that book. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ultron Empire, issue number 2. And we also have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 31. Here's that issue's variant cover. East of West, issue 3 gets a second printing. Sex Criminals, issue 3 gets this Bohemian Rhapsody themed third printing. Bravest Warriors number 17. RoboCop Beta, issue number 1. Powerpuff Girls number 8. Toronto creators Marcus Toe and Ian Herring are in Hacktivist issue number 2. Marcus pencils the book, Ian colors it. Story created by Alyssa Milano. Alright, this is an interesting book this week. It's called Vandroid. This is issue number 1 of 5. The story behind Vandroid is apparently there's this guy who was the king of custom vanning in the 1970s. That was, taking vans and customizing them with cool paint jobs with space and stuff on the sides of them or whatever. And in the 80s, he becomes like an action hero. And this apparently was supposedly a lost movie from the 80s. They were filming it on the set. The set burned down, and filming of the movie was never completed. Cover of the movie might have looked something like this. And now it's being released in comic form, restored to comic form, and they've released a synth-fueled soundtrack for Vandroid. So, interesting story behind this. Definitely check it out if you can. The Bounce, issue number 10. Manhattan Projects, number 18. Deadly Class, number 1 gets a second print. And here's Deadly Class, issue 2. Exo Manowar, number 22. Star Wars Legacy, number 12. Rat Queens, number 5 gets 2 covers. Here's Sex, issue number 11. Samurai Jack, number 5. Serenity Leaves on the Wind, issue number 2. Second cover to that book. Tomb Raider gets an all-new issue number 1 here from Dark Horse. One Hit Wonder, number 1 from Image Comics. Revenge, number 1 by Jonathan Ross and illustrated by Ian Churchill. I would show you some of the interiors of this book, but it is literally so offensive that I cannot. I would be banned from YouTube. It is rated M mature, and that is for good reason. The Walking Dead, issue 122. And finally, My Little Pony Friends Forever, issue number 2. These are the regular covers and the variant. Moving on to DC Comics. First up, we have Beware the Batman, issue number 5. DC Universe vs. Masters of the Universe, issue number 5. Larfleeze, number 8. Adventures of Superman, issue 10. A second printing of Harley Quinn, number 2. Justice League Dark, number 28. Forever Evil Argus, number 5. Aquaman, number 28. Here's the Aquaman variant. Superman, number 28. Here's the Superman variant. The Flash, issue number 28. The Dark Knight, number 28. Talon, number 16. Teen Titans, number 28. Catwoman, 28, part of the Gothtopia story. Batman Superman, issue number 8. Here's the regular cover. And the steampunk variant. And finally, the Superman Lois Lane one-shot being put out today. This has a $4.99 cover price. Okay, moving on to Marvel. We've got Night of the Living Deadpool number 1. This is a second printing. Ultimate Spider-Man Animated, issue number 23. Wolverine and the X-Men 42 gets a Days of Future Past tribute cover. Here's Hawkeye issue number 15, complete with a word search on the front. Secret Avengers number 16. Indestructible Hulk issue 19.INH. Thunderbolts number 22. Deadpool number 24. Avengers Assemble number 24. Revolutionary War Super Soldiers. Uncanny Avengers 17. Cataclysm The Ultimate's Last Stand issue number 5. Mighty Avengers number 7. Empire of the Dead issue number 2 from George A. Romero. Origin 2 number 3. Miracle Man issue number 3. Superior Spider-Man issue number 28. Alright, it's commercial time. I want to talk to you a little bit about Superior Spider-Man ending in April with issue number 31. And Amazing Spider-Man taking its place in April as well. Amazing Spider-Man number 1 will be out that month. We've got collector's packs available online right now at our store, store.stadiumcomics.com. There's an Amazing Spider-Man collector's pack there for variants for issue number 1 if you're interested in picking any of those up. And we've also just introduced a pack for Superior Spider-Man number 31, as it's going to have some really good variants as well, and will tie into the Amazing Spider-Man number 1 story quite nicely from what we hear. So don't wait until the books come out and the variants are priced like huge amounts of money, and the issues, you know, your the guy at the shop down the street ups the price on Amazing Spider-Man number 1 to like 10 to 15 bucks. Buy them now for cheap through our web store, store.stadiumcomics.com. Check it out. Or reserve it with your local shop now, if you can. Here's the Superior Spider-Man variant. Wolverine issue number 2. Guardians of the Galaxy number 12. Here's the variant for that book. And finally, we've got Fantastic Four issue number 1. This is a new start for Fantastic Four, written by James Robinson, formerly of DC, now with Marvel, and illustrated by Leonard Kirk, our good friend. He's been at our store numerous times to support events that we've done, and we couldn't be more happy to see him in a book as high profile as Fantastic Four. We think Leonard's going to just do an awesome job on this. He's going to knock it out of the park. We all know that. Can't wait to read this one. I'm really excited to see what direction they take with this team.
Time for some prizes! That's right, prize time as usual. Last week we asked you if you could perform the ritual to open up anything, what would you open up and what would you do? And for that you could win a copy, a signed copy of New Warriors. So we got a lot of amazing answers, like seriously, most of these answers were like knocked out of the park. Hilarious. Mr. PK Ling 4th said, I would open up for a base jumping competition by shouting O'Doyle rules and driving off the cliff. Of course, I would bail just in time to survive. Let the jumping begin. Kudos for the Billy Madison reference. Mr. Akis Dragitis says, I would open up a Howard the Duck convention and I would throw ducks to the people. There's been a lot of Howard the Duck talk in the comments, and I'm loving it. You guys and your Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck is pretty awesome. The winner goes to Mr. Ollie Sleeman, who said, I would open a badminton tournament by throwing the shuttlecock into the air. However, this is not just any shuttlecock, oh no. When I throw it up, the feathers surrounding the shuttlecock disintegrate, releasing many more shuttlecocks up into the stadium, showering the courts with many thousands of shuttles. But the show isn't over yet. Once they have landed, everyone will be taken up to the top of the stadium to gain an aerial view of what is below. And what is below, I hear you cry? Well, some of the shuttles are color coordinated. Blue, of course, representing Stadium Comics. And the blue shuttles on the ground will spell out Stadium Comics supports this. And then smoke fills the room and lights go out. Not only are they blue, they also glow in the dark. The competition begins. Wow, Mr. Ollie Sleeman. That's the most extravagant badminton opening I've ever seen in my life. That is brought a tear to my heart, really. I'm about to cry. That was fantastic. So, congratulations, Mr. Ollie Sleeman. You win a copy of New Guardians #1. Also, special mention goes to Mr. M. Dalla91, who said, I'd like to apologize in advance for the beatdown Team USA is going to give Team Canada on Friday. Joke's on you. We win. This week, what we're giving out is a Fantastic Four #1, illustrated by the lovely Leonard Kirk. If you were to build a Fantastic Four team in real life, who would you put on it, living or dead? I think I'd put on, like, Charlie Chaplin, Barack Obama, who else? Bill Murray, and maybe, finally, the fourth one, Jennifer Lawrence. Yes. That would be my Fantastic Four team. So let us know your Fantastic Four team and you could win a copy of Fantastic Four #1.
Alright everybody, that is it for this week. Thank you once again for watching. Please remember to check out all the other awesome shows on our channel, such as Previews and Reviews, a new episode of which went up last night. So definitely check that out. We've also got a new edition of Previews in stores, so you can be sure that Ricky and I will be talking about all kinds of cool stuff that's going to be coming out in May 2014 in the weeks to come. You can connect with us using any of the websites you see listed here on the screen. Check out our friend Louie's podcast, the Recap podcast, at the link down below in the description.
Be sure to check out We've Got Issues on, was it Thursday?
Thank
Tomorrow.
you. Check that out at youtube.com/we'vegotissuestv. We'll see you all next time for episode 100 and what, Ricky?
75.
Of Unboxing Wednesdays. Take care, everyone. Have a great week. Enjoy your comics.